Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jack Brain, and you're listening to Frequency Radio. On today's show, we have an exclusive, a world first, a premiere to end all premieres, and that is an exclusive interview with the Lancaster-based band Sungiant. So, before we dive into the questions and the nitty-gritty of the interview, I'm sure our listeners would like to know a bit more about the band and who they are. So I'm now going to pass the mic over to Tom and Liam, if you want to introduce yourselves.
Okay, well, I'm Tom Walmsley. I'm the drummer of Sungiant, and yeah, I'm from Lancaster, 18. I'm actually on a gap year at the moment.
Gap year?
Yeah, decided not to go to uni to try and do the bands.
Yeah, I'm Liam Fairclough. I do the rest of that. I do the guitar and the singing, and I've been on an even longer gap year than Tom. So I do even less than him, really. I'm from Lancaster.
Mini gap year.
And I'm older. I'm 19.
Yes.
I'm the older.
The old one.
So, kind of spurring on from that, then, you're on a gap year at the moment. Do you have any kind of aspirations, or do you want to go to university, or is it kind of like music you want to kind of carry on to?
Well, my decision not to go to uni was basically because I didn't know what to do. And being in the band, that's kind of my aspiration, to try and pursue that, to be honest. I do have a place at uni for next year, but
Right.
this year's kind of like work experience, kind of like trying to push the band further.
Yeah, I'm not staying off because I aspire to be in a big band or anything. It's more, I just dropped out because I hated it. So I'm just waiting to go back now. Actually, it's good I'm in Preston instead, and I'm just go down to the college. So.
What were you studying when you dropped out?
Oh, I was doing A-levels.
Yeah.
And it was awful.
Yeah.
We're both at the same sixth form,
Right.
so like he dropped and I carried on. So.
Yeah.
That's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met, really.
What were you studying at the time?
Well, we were both studying English language and media actually, so we kind of met through that.
Yeah.
Similar kind of like.
Yeah, it's because we knew the same people, really.
Okay.
We met through a friend who got us together, like in the same room with all the instruments and stuff, and it went from there.
Yeah, started jamming and then kind of like progressed from that, really.
That leads me into my first question, which you kind of pretty much already answered. So the band coming about was through sixth form.
Yeah.
But did you have any individual aspirations kind of prior to meeting that you wanted to like go into the music industry and set up a band?
Well, I studied music at high school, and I didn't like that either. I didn't like it being like intellectualized in that way, you know, like it ruined it for me. It took the fun out of it because it was a hobby and then it became a subject. I didn't like that. So I never really thought about doing music later on. I never really thought about what else I'd do. Right?
Yeah, same as me. I did GCSE music and that kind of like spurred me on to kind of do my own stuff, write my own music. I mean, I was in a band before this one with Niall, our old bass player, and that's kind of like how we met, me and Liam, like through Niall. It's kind of like the foundations, really.
Yeah, like the Phoenix from the Ashes.
Phoenix
It was a sort of.
Yeah.
This band was called Fly By Nights, and
It was, yeah.
we were dreadful.
Awful.
So that was your
That was my
that
old
was your
band,
band,
yeah,
Fly By
and then-
Night.
And then we quit, and then Niall suggested Liam to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew Liam a little bit, but not too much. So
You heard me shred, and then you
I heard Liam
what,
shred, and I was like, wow, I want that in my band. We got in a room and just thought, let's just play something.
What were the genres of Fly By Night? 'Cause I know Sunshine's very psychedelic, blues,
It
rock.
wasn't as psychedelic as Sunday, it was more just like blues rock, kind of like Black Keys stuff, really. Very basic.
Yeah.
Not
So-
really know what we're doing, kind of stuff.
So the band Sunshine is obviously a bit different. Where did that kind of name come from? And is there a
Oh, the name. That's
history?
all you, Tom.
History behind
I saw the name from a band called Fleet Foxes.
Yes.
It's actually a really early EP from Fleet Foxes that I was hoping no one had heard about, so I thought, I like that name, Sungiant, so I thought I'd use it. It's quite big and powerful, I thought. And
Yeah.
I didn't want a band name with like the at the start.
I want it to be called Nut.
Yeah, Liam
I
wanted
can
a
get
nut.
As in NU.
No, just Nut with a T. Didn't go anywhere.
I kind of bypassed that idea and just thought, I'm going to stick with Sungiant.
We didn't really like the name when it came about. Well, me and Niall didn't. We thought you were crazy.
Yeah.
But it just, you know, once you'd played so many shows, it's like, well, if we change it now, we just a step back in a way.
Yeah, when people start recognising you from the name, like,
Yeah, if you change it, it's gonna distort your image as well. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So your band and its identity, how would you describe that to our avid listeners at home?
Identity. We're quite naive. Aren't we really?
Music-wise, maybe, yeah.
Music-wise, yeah, but not.
We haven't got Bootsy Collins or with all the knowledge to give us. But I suppose I feel like our music sounds quite young. If we sound like young people when we play, I think that's something I like. I think we noticed that from playing with so many older bands, you know, like in pubs, you always find the people in the bands who are always like in the 40s and that, so it's something that you can use to your advantage. What I found is your age.
Yeah.
Like the ignorance of, you know, maybe not knowing more about music than these people, but
I think probably just the energy we have as well compared to the older folk who are very slow on stage and we can
they've been at work all day, they've looked after the kids, they've got a babysitter and then they've gone out to be a rock star.
Yeah, the local pub.
Yeah.
Whereas you just bypass all that and then straight to the gigging.
Well, we kind of just plug in and go, really, don't we?
Yeah.
The gigs and stuff.
Spur of the moment kind of attitude,
Yeah. We don't really spend. I mean, we've been with bands that spend about half an hour sound checking, and we just plug in and that's it. Yeah.
We were going to do a sound check today.
No, we used to not get in them.
We just thought, you know, we'll just go straight into the interview. Tom, I noticed your Paisley shirt. Is that?
Yeah.
Are you influenced by like 50s, 60s culture?
Yeah, primarily. I mean, 60s. I mean, I like a lot of like early Led Zeppelin, Syd Barrett's kind of Pink Floyd kind of era. So I think that influences heavily on the drumming as well. Right. Because 60s drumming is kind of like, this is Mitch Mitchell from the Hendrix Experience. It's quite all over the place and almost improvised. So I don't like to keep a simple beat. I like to do a few fills here and there.
Your kind of like your personal tastes, kind of like, do they seep into the band?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have a lot of like modern influence as well. I'm not just stuck in the 60s.
Yeah.
But no, I think you are. Probably am. I mean, but yeah, I like to wear this kind of stuff.
I'm going to ask the question, which has been sent in by Gloria Lee, and this is, what has inspired you guys to write Slide?
Oh, well, that was Liam's.
Yeah, that was about school. That was about leaving Ripley. Yeah. That was. I felt like it was quite a snooty place, and it just came about from that really.
Right.
Just after being locked up in my house for a few weeks after leaving, and it just,
So Ripley was the sixth form.
Yeah.
You went
in
to
Lancaster. Yeah. And that's about it really. It's just about how I didn't like it.
A protest song then.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. That was like the first one we did together.
It was the first one we did together.
Right.
It kind of clicked into place really. I mean, you had all the guitar parts and lyrics and everything, I just matched some drums over the top and kind of worked from there really.
Yeah. I suppose it kind of worked out because it was about the school as well. Because I used to have to go back into the school to practice with them. Like, so these guys were still at school after I'd left, and I'd be going back in after school time to meet them and play tunes with them. So it's kind of weird, like doing songs about that in the school that I'd left, that the song was about with these guys. But it kind of worked out in that way, in a weird way, in a weird sort of circle, like came back around.